Hey guys, now that I'm a little bit more chill, I've been meaning to conduct a video about online learning and especially in accounting. Um, so I wanted to briefly talk about um, online learning versus um, learning on campus. I've been to on-campus courses. I've sat in classes, done everything as a traditional college student, and it just wasn't for me. Online learning and on campus are it's not for everybody. Um, the pros and cons of online learning, I'll talk about the pros. The pros of online learning are um, you I mean some people will take this as more of like a con. I think it's more of like a pro. You learn the information faster, so the semester is only 2 months, so you're taking two classes and it's 2 months, so it's a lot faster than on-campus course, because on-campus course it's like what, like a 5 months, I think. So you're taking what, 12 units or 6 units, whatever, for within a 5 month course. So and I'm considered out of state, so I have to pay more money, which is out of state, which is, it is what it is. But yes, online is expensive. I pay roughly about 2,000, like 2050 per semester. So that's two classes. So, you do the math. Um, so um, it's right now I'm taking statistics and federal income, federal, what is it called? Federal individual taxation. So I'm gonna just give you the brief summary of online. So it's exactly the same as being on campus. The only difference is that you are 100% independent. You you know you're given the material. You're given two choices of what essay to turn in. You go over that material, you choose which one you want, and you work on it. You are given a full week to work on your homework. So with I'm attending Colorado State Global Campus online. So it starts from Monday and ends on Sunday. So you are given participation. So it's just like in class, except it's all online. So instead of like verbally communicating it, you're doing nothing but typing all day. So, and I like to type, so it works out for me. Um, you you have to not only submit a very substantial and productive post, but you have to back it up with reference, at least one reference. Um, CSU has their guidelines on how they want the references to be conducted. They're very strict, which is good. Um, and you have to follow all of the guidelines, or else you will get points taken off for every little thing. So you have the number one, you have your participation. So you have to participate with minimum of two classmates, or slash peers. So you have to participate and submit a post no later than Thursday at like 11:59 p.m., which is in Mountain Standard Time. In Colorado, I think it's like 12. Um, excuse me. So you have to, number one, do participation. So you put in your post, and then you have to respond to a minimum per day, a minimum of two. Um, and uh, and that also includes the instructor too. So it's both instructor and your peers. On top of that, you have exercises. So you have mastery exercise and you have your opening exercise, and those are like they're multiple choice questions. Um, so you have that due, and then on top of that, you have your assignments. So assignments are a minimum of, I believe they're like 50 points. So assignments are pretty much like 90% of your grade. Okay, 90% of your grade. Um, so you have your assignments, you have your exercises, and you have your participation. Now remember, not every online school is the same. I attended University of Phoenix, and it was a little similar, um, but they didn't have the, what do you call it? They didn't have the exercises. It was just essays and, like, assignments, and then the participation post. But CSU is a little different. They're a little bit stricter, which is good, and they are accredited, which is also good. Um, the thing, what I recommend and advise to students, especially online students or students that are struggling, that are just started online, or students that are teasing the idea of wanting to do online, give it a try. If you can handle sitting down for a minimum of 3 to 4 hours, um, just on one class, okay? If you can handle sitting down without any like disturbance, um, and be able to watch YouTube, because there's a lot of YouTube watching for classes. So you have to be comfortable with sitting on your ass and working. So if you can do that, online school is for you. If you are organized, you have to be very, very, very organized. If you are organized and you're disciplined with your time and you're very good with time management, online school is for you. Um, if you can work independently with very minimal to no help at all, online school is for you. There are instructors out there that, I mean, everyone's different. There are instructors out there that are more than willing to help you. Like, you can call them or email them. Um, the the guideline for CSU is, or I think in any online school, is the teacher is given at least 24 hours to get back to the student. Some teachers will not release their phone number, and some teachers will. It just depends on the teacher. Some of them are jerks and some of them are nice. So everyone's different. Um, I there are It's been a while since I've been involved in a conflict, or like a confrontation with another student. It's been a while. There are students that are confrontational, and I honestly, all I advise is just ignore them. If they are gonna ask you a question and try to like come off with like a power trip, I would just ignore them and just answer someone else's post, because there are gonna be students in your forum that are on a power trip. A lot of the students that are in the classes are military people, veterans, um, parents, working professionals, and single parents. So there's a like I'm a minority. So you are going to be asked at the beginning of every course to introduce yourself and give like a small little bio about yourself. Um, you don't have to put in your picture. You can if you want, but it's a little bit like social media, but it's not. So it's you know if a student likes your post, they'll hit the like button. So it's a little bit kind of like Facebook, but it's not. It's like, yeah. So um another thing with online learning is loans are expensive. So um I highly encourage students to like apply for scholarships, whether it's with your university or not. Apply for scholarships, because loans are expensive, especially unsubsidized loans. And we all know that unsubsidized loans are interest that we have to pay, not the lender. So one piece of advice that I would in- give out to students that are either struggling or are contemplating on doing online is get to know your teachers, because you don't know who you're going to get. um get to know your teachers. um get your homework done on time. What I recommend first is get your participation posts um, and everything else done out of the way no later than by like Sunday night. Your homework should be done no later than like Thursday, because days are gonna go by and you're gonna be like, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. I'm tired. Oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. I'm tired. Oh, like you'll start making excuses. By the time you know it, it's already Saturday and you haven't even done your homework yet. And it take like essays. I compose a lot of essays, especially at CSU. I compose a minimum of one essay, and that's like 3 to 4 pages. So there was a final that I did where I had to do minimum of 10 to 14 pages, and that was just on one class. So I had to do two final projects on two classes, and it had to be done within that week. And I had to work. So it's not easy. So that's what I'm saying. You have to be very, very organized and know your shit, because you have to be like on your A game. If you're not, you're gonna fall behind immediately. Um, so what else? Keep in contact. If there's an issue that does arise, you have to talk to your teacher first. And if your teacher doesn't care, some don't. Some just do it just to supplement their income. Go to your academic counselor, and then your academic counselor will do something about it. Um, there are some teachers that just don't care. And there's some that really care, that they love their job, and they'll do anything in their power to help you, but you have to also help yourself. You can't just let them do all the work. Um, build a relationship with your teachers so that they can make it memorable for them. um, you also, on your assignments, make sure that um, they abide by the guidelines of the school. So if you're wondering why are you struggling in class, well, like, read your teacher's feedback. If your teacher's giving you productive constructive criticism, read it. um, it's for your own benefit. So what I like most about online learning is I get to go to work and do whatever I need to do, or go about my business, and then come and then learn on my own time, versus having to get up and go to class. Let's say class is from 7:40 until like 9:10, because I used to go to public school. I know how it's like. You have to go find parking, sometimes fight for parking. You have to get a parking permit. You have to walk to class. Sometimes it's upstairs, whether it's raining or it's hot. You have to, if the instructor isn't there yet, you have to wait outside. You have to turn your homework in by a certain time. You have to buy the book. It's a lot. And I would much rather do online. That's just me, like I said, to each their own. But um, that is what I wanted to talk about, especially with accounting. Um Accounting is a different thing because it's all numbers. And as I said, you have to be really organized. Um some people can't do online learning, especially with accounting, but if you are good with numbers and you know how to like do like cost analysis and budgeting and like income statement and like balance sheet and like all the financial statements, and you just get it, like it just comes naturally to you, you'll have no problem with doing online learning. As I said, you have to be 100% independent. And if you have no problem being 100% independent, you should have no problem doing online learning. Um, there are schools out there that I like. There's like Michigan State, no, I'm sorry, University of Minnesota Crookston. There's Colorado State University. Um, I would not advise to go to University of Phoenix because I went there and I didn't like it, so I got out immediately. There are other online schools, and online learning is great. I mean, I learn a lot. Like, and that's why I left, UOP, because I wasn't learning anything. The instructors, I just felt like I was paying for nothing, so I left, and I transferred to CSU, and I've been with CSU for over a year now, like well over a year. So I'm happy. Of course, it's, you can't be 100% happy with the school that you're in because there's pros and cons to, everything. There's no perfect establishment, um, but yeah, I mean, I'm happy. I'm like 8 classes away from being done. So, it's just you have to take it one day at a time, but you have to manage your time so efficiently because there's 24 hours in a day and you can only do so much in a day. So you have to be like, okay, what's important? Everything's important, but what's really important? Like get all the big nightmares out of the way, you know? So you have to be like, okay, you have to kind of like it's kind of being your own boss. You have to say, okay, this has to be done by this day. I want to be able to relax on these 2 days. So it's just like, you're just managing everything. So um what else? Sacrifice. It's a lot of sacrifice. I sacrifice going out and I stay home and I apply for scholarships or doing homework or I'm watching YouTube so I can get help because right now I'm taking statistics. So I'm on YouTube watching like, how to do like standard deviation or how to do like, the median and like things like that. So it's a lot of sacrifice, but I know in the end it'll be worth it because I'll be done soon and I can finally move on to bigger and better things. Um, so yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it. Oh, one last thing. Be on time with your posts. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier in my video, but most online schools will require you to submit your post by no later than Thursday. If you submit it late, you get a penalty. So any assignments that are submitted late, anything, it doesn't matter if it's a post or participation, it doesn't matter. You will get a late penalty and it's minimum 10%. So if you think about it, it's just not worth it. Just make time to like, you know, put all your ducks in a row and like get the homework done immediately. So like Sunday night, I'm off Sunday and Monday. Sunday night I turn my homework in and I got all my exercises done out of the way, got my participation done out of the way. I'm sorry, I'm meaning like my initial post and then participation, I do that along the way, but you get everything out of the way. And then homework, I already have my rough drafts done. So now I have the rest of the week to like slowly work on them and then like my goal is by Saturday to have it done. If not Sunday, I have all day Sunday. So yeah. Anyway. All right guys, until next time. Good night.